This program has been brought to you through the generous support of the City of Glenwood Springs, Colorado. We invite you to learn more about this year-round destination at visitglenwood.com.
Welcome to Street Level Glenwood Springs Edition. I'm your host, Juliana Broste. This season, we have truly enjoyed exploring the natural wonders and rich history of this Colorado playground. Tonight, we're coming to you from Two Rivers Park, 22 acres of beauty converging at the confluence of the Roaring Fork and the Colorado Rivers. Truly the land of water, sun, and snow. Let's join Versatile Productions as they celebrate the 50th anniversary of Sunlight Mountain, one of Colorado's most beloved resorts.
Sunlight, kind of get that old western feel, you know, Pard?
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
John Higgs came in to the scene and said, Sunlight, according to the Forest Service, is going to be a great place to ski. So I'd like to start it. I'd like to have a lot of community involvement and community investment in it, and it turned out we did. In 1966, this building was built. When I think about Sunlight and 50 years, the first thing that comes to mind is it can't be 50 years. And I think as time goes by, that's kind of a common feeling for many people when they look back a number of years. But Sunlight has really endured a lot of great times and a lot of very, very tough times. But it has always had people that believed in it and stuck with it and made it a success that it is today. So from that, you've got to say happy. You've got to say happy birthday, Sunlight.
Ooh, wow, happy birthday. Ooh, wow, celebrate.
Happy birthday, Sunlight! Happy 50th from Frida!
Happy birthday, Sunlight!
We've been waiting all year to celebrate with you. That day is finally here, and so we sing for you. Ooh, wow, celebrate!
We started off with a number of unique things for our 50th year. We have Skier Appreciation Day, where we raised funds for United Way and had another celebration about our 50th. Then we had Ski Spree, and Ski Spree is an on-mountain celebration with events on the mountain, and then Torchlight Parade and fireworks afterwards. We had Meyer Skis built a custom ski for us. We have a craft beer that was made by Glenwood Brew Pub. Sunlight is definitely different. We're a local ski area. We're retro. We still have slow lifts. We really depend on our local skiers. But we get visitors from all over the world and have to thank that to the fact that we are a Colorado resort.
I've been coming to Sunlight Mountain for the last 17 years. I live in Central Florida, and this is the best mountain in Colorado to ski on. You have everything you could ever want. You have steeps and deep, you have groomed and smooth. It's an awesome place, and the people are wonderful. I love Sunlight Mountain.
Sunlight's a great value in this day and age in our industry, and that's really shown not only for Sunlight, but I think for all the small and medium ski areas in Colorado. And the other thing is we are tied to the community of Glenwood Springs, the Hot Springs Pool, Iron Mountain Hot Springs, and then just everything you have in Glenwood as far as the restaurants and things that people can enjoy. One of the highlights of the year has been our 50th anniversary ski. We've been really been a pleasure that we've been able to give those away at some of these events to our loyal customers. And then we've also sold that ski. And it's been part of the $700 Sunlight Lift package, where you can, for $700, you get a Sunlight Lift ticket and the Meyer ski. It's been a great anniversary, and it's been a great 50 years. But there's so much to smile about here at Glenwood Springs and Sunlight Mountain Resort. Please come and visit us in the future.
Glenwood Springs was originally a rough and tumble encampment named Defiance. However, the town founder's wife, Sarah Cooper, was having a hard time adjusting to frontier life. And in an attempt to make her environment more comfortable, she persuaded the founders to change the name to Glenwood Springs, after her hometown in Glenwood, Iowa. An elite resort destination was born. Let's check in with Versatile Productions to see how a town that was rough around the edges evolved into one of luxury and refinement.
The nomadic Ute Indians tell us they've lived in the Rocky Mountains for thousands of years. Imagine the Utes camped in their teepees along the Colorado River near the Yampa Hot Springs. They considered the natural hot springs sacred, performing ceremonies and soaking in them for rejuvenation and healing. Hi, I'm Bill Kite, Executive Director of the Glenwood Springs Historical Society and Frontier Museum. It only seems natural then that in the 1800s, Glenwood Springs would become a center for tourists to visit and to experience the therapeutic effects of the hot springs. It welcomed visitors first on foot, then by carriage, train, and eventually by automobile. But it was the train that put Glenwood Springs on the map, creating access for everyone. Tom Mix came by train, making the first full-length silent movie using the railroad. Teddy Roosevelt came by rail many times, making the Hotel Colorado his Western White House. And the train not only brought more and more visitors to Glenwood Springs, it also brought all the goods and materials to build the infrastructure that created a destination resort. One of the founders of Glenwood Springs was Isaac Cooper. His wife named our town Glenwood after their hometown, Glenwood, Iowa. Isaac later added the word springs to promote his vision of what we today call a resort. His idea was one of, and I quote, sharing their miracle healing with the ill of the entire world. Not only did the ill be drawn to this beautiful mountain town, so were the wealthy who wanted a place to get away from the cares of the world and relax. The term spa in the mountains came from one of the early developers of Glenwood Springs, Walter Devereaux. In February 1888, Walter started the construction of what is now the Hot Springs Pool, finishing in time for the July 4th, 1888 dedication. The stone bathhouse wasn't completed until December 1888. Wanting to attract people for the healing waters of the hot springs, Walter Devereaux constructed the Hotel Colorado and the Vapor Caves in 1895. So from its beginning, Glenwood Springs has benefited from what it means to be a resort town and has invited people from all over the world to come here and, as a resort does, relax and recreate. Today, Glenwood Springs has 3 hot springs destinations: the Yampa Spa Hot Springs Vapor Caves, Glenwood Hot Springs, and the Iron Mountain Hot Springs. Natural and man-made attractions make this town compelling to visitors, such as the Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park, the Frontier Historical Museum, historic lodging, and our historic downtown. Tourism continues to contribute to the economic driver
of Glenwood Springs. History continues to remain important to our visitors. So next time you come to Glenwood Springs, drop by the historic Frontier Museum and you'll find displays and walking tours of downtown and such places as the Pioneer Cemetery where Doc Holliday is buried. Glenwood Springs continues to remain an important historic destination and will do so well into the future.
The Riviera Supper Club and Piano Bar is a landmark dining establishment in the historic downtown area and was recently purchased by Phantom of the Opera musical director Jonathan Gorst and Chef Travis Owen. Elizabeth Drolette from Versatile Productions sits down with the new owners to discuss their continued success.
Riviera Supper Club opened in 1947 with the mission of providing free entertainment while guests enjoy dinner. They continue this tradition today, serving up nightly piano music and even late night requests.
When we were kids, this was our playground. You know, we played out on the patio, which is now the Colorado Ranch House. You know, that was our backyard. On the dance floor here when they were closed.
Why do you think it was so important for your dad to have entertainment and dinner?
That was just a thing back then. You know, our dad, you know, your entertainment and your dinner kind of went hand in hand in the, you know, in the 40s and the 50s. Okay, the Riviera's early years were, at first it was like orchestra bands and, you know, big band sound, you know, kind of thing like that. And it was a piano place. And then they did have some kind of burlesque and go-go girls and country western bands and kind of stuff like that. And
what was the response from a small town community?
Burlesque, that was a kind of a tricky one, you know. Everybody wanted to come out and see the girls, and then come Sunday morning they go to church, and then they wanted all the girls out of town until Friday afternoon, and they all want to come back and see the girls again. So, you know, it was kind of a different time.
What do you think your dad would be most proud of?
I think my folks would be most proud of that it stayed kind of true to its roots. You know, it's a supper club, and people come here on certain days of the week, certain days of the month, you know, and meet and have dinner and drinks, or, you know, if there was entertainment, have entertainment. And I think it's coming back to that now.
So John, what is a supper club and what is a supper club experience?
When we looked at the Riviera and thinking about its history, what we wanted to do was be true to what it was as a supper club and what it could be in the next generation of Glenwood Springs. So the idea of a supper club, having the free entertainment, we wanted to keep the look of the place more vintage. Well, back in the day, there was a time when you'd go to a supper club and expect a fine dinner and a lot of entertainment, and at no extra charge, really. So what we're bringing back here is that whole scene of a really nice dinner and good entertainment, people to enjoy singing and playing the piano at the same time.
So what kind of songs do you play?
We do everything from the Great American Songbook through Broadway. I play a lot of Les Miserables, is one of my favorites of all time, so I love to play that show. And of course, I have a great background in history with the show for the Phantom of the Opera, so I do love to play some of those songs from time to time. It's not uncommon to hear music of the night on an evening, as well as a little Scott Joplin rag. So I love playing here because it's a place to develop new things with new performers in the valley. I do love to see the young talent. I have a waiter here who loves to come up and sing great Broadway songs, and I'm teaching him some old standards at the same time. So.
Why do you think people love it?
Well, I think music is universal to everyone, and I think it's interesting that the golden age of music from the late 1930s all the way to the early 50s really speaks to all generations still, because it's simply good music. So if you want to come in and hear a little sentimental journey, it brings you back to a place where you were. You can kind of think of a song that maybe reminds you of somewhere you were at a given time, or maybe there's something that your parents were playing for you, you know, on their radio, or your grandparents, that kind of reminds you of them. So it really has that throwback to another time, and I think music does that for all of us in one way or the other.
So let's talk specifically about that wonderful food. I know you guys use all organic, naturals, ingredients. What are these dishes?
The dishes that we do, it's all seasonal. We're working on our fall menu now, and because we really like to source locally, we like to work with local ingredients and seasonal ingredients. Every time that you look outside, that for me dictates what you want to eat. You know, it's going to be the weather, it's going to be the season, it's going to be what's growing right now, what's really good.
You're making me hungry. So on a cold day, we can expect a wonderful beef stew, and
yeah, exactly. That's one of the dishes that we're working on that is certainly going to be one of my favorites on the new menu, is braised lamb shank. And we're doing that with winter vegetable stew, and then we're working with Vale Brewery and using their porter to create that stew. And so it's something that you look outside and it's 6 inches of fresh snow, and that's perfect. That's exactly that moment you want to capture. The menu here at Riviera is, I'm trying to make it approachable to everybody. So if you come in with 80 of your friends, everybody likes something different, you're going to find something on our menu that's great. The 2 dishes that have carried over since 1947, since the doors opened, the prime rib, and we still do that the same way. It was one of those things that was done right to begin with, and why mess with it. The other one, the escargot, which has been something that a dish I personally have loved for years and years. And again, that's the same thing. They got it right 200 years ago in French cuisine, and we're still doing the same thing because they really did a good job of it. This is a landmark. This, in my opinion, is the best location in Glenwood, and so I remember coming here when I was 9 years old, eating steaks with my grandpa. And so I want that to continue, and I want to continue that tradition and have people that 20 years from now, maybe somebody's working for me that, yeah, I came in here and with my parents when I was a little kid, and it was so great. That's what made me want to be a chef, and so here I am back here.
It sounds like every meal is prepared with your signature on it.
I'm fortunate enough to be able to do something that I love. I'm fortunate enough to work with that strong staff and to have Jonathan here too, that this is his passion and his dream as well. So it's been such a blessing.
We've had an incredible time here in Glenwood Springs, and we're sure happy we made the short and awe-inspiring trip to this beautiful valley to rejuvenate in the warm waters and soak in the rich history. Many thanks to the City of Glenwood Springs, the Hotel Colorado, the Glenwood Springs Historical Society and Frontier Museum, as well as all of the engaged business owners and wonderful residents of this beautiful town. And special thanks to Versatile Productions, a local production resource that is sharing a part of the Glenwood Springs experience through their eyes. I'm your host, Juliana Broste, and I sure have enjoyed sharing this time with you here in Glenwood Springs. For more information about Street Level, visit us online at cpt12.org, on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Let us know all the hot spots in your favorite Colorado neighborhood. Have a great night, and thank you for tuning in.
Colorado.